Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Secretary DeVos, General Brown, thank you for being here today. Thank you for your service to America's students and education. Appreciate it very much. I have a couple things that I'd like to get into after I just make a couple observations. Secretary DeVos, I know that we all agree all students who are defrauded by their schools should receive relief. I also want to focus on fairness. Since joining the committee, we have marked up a one-sided Peter Robes-Paul Higher Education Reauthorization Act. The Democrat bill struck me as being incredibly unfair to the students we are trying to help and insulting to the intelligence of the students who made the educational decision in their best interest. As Democrats continue to push policies that double down on failed policies and cuts out specific educational providers, they are not only that are only harming our students. We do a disservice to the students when they focus in on a school's tax returns rather than the educational experience delivered. We can discuss how there are bad actors across the board. But what we should focus on is how we allow students to find the school or educational program that best fits their needs and helps them achieve their goals. And I heard a lot earlier today about not having a process and many things in place for you to be able to do that from the previous administration. So I just have a couple of questions. Can you tell us about what the department is doing to help students and prospective students better understand the options available? Like, does the college scorecard cover more than just baccalaureate degrees?
Congressman, thanks for that question. Yes, as I mentioned a little earlier, the college scorecard that we've recently enhanced the data for now contains information at a field of study level for not only four-year colleges, but also two-year institutions, for some certificate programs, some graduate programs, and also has links to the apprenticeship programs through the Department of Labor. So we believe this is going to be a really good and important tool for students to be able to access and use as they consider future fields of study and future programs.
So prior to the previous administration, did they cover that broad range of programs available, or were they just focused on the baccalaureate degrees?
They were focused on four-year institutions and by institution level. Now we're down to the program level.
Okay, so what that would do then would be improving any student at any field of study, depending on how long that takes.
To acknowledge there are many pathways to a successful adult life, and we encourage students to look at all of their options and, in fact, look at them starting in middle school, frankly.
Okay. So your scorecard would actually protect more students than the previous administrations did because you're including at the degree level and not the institution level, and you're considering all programs, not just baccalaureate.
Correct.
So you've done more to help students since you've been secretary than previously.
Indeed. Yes.
Yes. Because if previously I'd been going for a two-year degree or an apprenticeship, I wouldn't have had that information available to me.
That's correct.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it very much. Also, Secretary, has the information shared on the college scorecard been expanded? Of course, it's been expanded under your watch. Can you highlight what changes have been made, what the additional educational pathways are available? And I know you talked a little bit about that, but when you look at that, how do you think that's helped some of the other people that aren't going for a baccalaureate, but they're maybe going for a two-year associate's degree or a training program?
Well, this is relatively new, so it was just within the last several weeks that this data was made available. And so I think prospectively, students are going to be able to make better comparisons and to be able to compare between institutions, compare between programs, compare different kinds of fields of study, and again, just give students and prospective students many more tools to be able to make good decisions for their future.
I appreciate that, and I just want to follow up. I know there's been some previous remarks made about certain students, and they haven't, but the courts have really held you up on getting relief to all students. Is that correct?
Correct. We had a process well underway in 2018, and the court stopped us from continuing it in May of 2018. And we've been waiting for the court on appeal since then, have developed a second methodology and have just been able to unveil that and begin implementing it last week.
So really, the courts have caused some people's credit scores to be
Indeed.
harmed more so than the department.
Indeed.
Thank you, Madam Secretary.